Hey financial freedom fighters! Today we're diving deep into something most of us struggle with, understanding if we're actually winning financially, even when it feels like we're just barely keeping our head above water. I've got 10 subtle signs that prove you might be more financially successful than you realize, so grab your favorite beverage, get comfortable, and let's break this down in detail. This is the Finance Virtuoso channel. If you're new here, hit subscribe and the notification bell for the best money tips and tricks. Let's start with sign number 1, and it's probably the most counterintuitive. You're not trying to signal your wealth, you're just quietly building it. In today's social media-driven world, we're constantly bombarded with people flashing expensive cars, designer watches, and luxurious vacations. But here's a truth bomb: real financial success isn't about the external show, it's about internal growth and genuine wealth creation. Take a moment and think about the last time you saw someone posting a picture of their brand new Lamborghini. Chances are, that $300,000 car is more about stroking ego than actual financial health. In fact, most people who buy these ultra-expensive vehicles are essentially paying for a status symbol. The truly wealthy individuals are often the ones you'd never guess. They're driving reliable, modest cars, living in comfortable but not extravagant homes, and consistently investing their money instead of showing it off. This concept goes back to what thought leaders like Naval Ravikant talk about: building wealth is a positive-sum game, but status is a zero-sum game. In a zero-sum game, for someone to win, someone else must lose. When you're constantly trying to signal your wealth, you're playing a game where you're competing against others, rather than focusing on your own financial growth. Sign number 2 is having a robust emergency fund. I know, you've heard this a million times. But let me hit you with a sobering statistic: 57% of Americans can't even cover a $1,000 emergency expense. If you've got at least $2,000 set aside, and ideally 3 to 6 months of living expenses, you're not just ahead of the game, you're in a league of your own. An emergency fund isn't just about having money. It's about having peace of mind. It's about knowing that if your car breaks down, if you lose your job, or if an unexpected medical expense comes up, you won't be thrown into financial chaos. This financial buffer allows you to make decisions from a place of strength, not desperation. The third sign is being intentional and strategic with your money. This means having clear financial goals and actually tracking your expenses with precision. I'm talking spreadsheets, detailed categorization, the whole 9 yards. I've been tracking my monthly expenses for 9 years, and let me tell you, it's a game changer. Most people avoid looking at their expenses because it feels overwhelming or boring. But knowledge is power. When you know exactly where every single dollar goes, you take control of your financial narrative. You can see patterns, identify unnecessary spending, and make informed decisions about your money. Sign number 4 is living below your means, and this is where many people struggle. It's not about how much you make, but how much you keep and invest. By consistently spending less than you earn, you create incredible financial flexibility. This might mean driving a reliable used car instead of a brand new luxury vehicle, cooking meals at home instead of eating out constantly, or being strategic about your discretionary spending. Living below your means creates options. Maybe that means being able to switch careers without financial panic, take a sabbatical to pursue a passion project, or invest more aggressively in your future. If your yearly expenses are $40,000, you'll need a dramatically smaller nest egg to retire comfortably compared to someone burning through $100,000 annually. Let's talk perspective for a moment, and this is sign number 5. The average salary in the US is about $59,000, which sounds pretty good on the surface. But when you zoom out to a global lens, you might be more privileged than you realize. If you're making between $10 to $20 per day, you're actually in the global middle class. The World Bank reports that nearly half the world lives on less than $5.50 per day. This global perspective is crucial because it helps break the toxic cycle of comparing yourself to the top 1% or your most successful peers. most of us are doing better than we think. It's about recognizing your position of privilege and using that understanding to make more strategic financial decisions. Sign number 6 is debt management, and this is where many people get tripped up. The average American carries about $21,800 in personal debt, not including mortgages. But here's the key difference: it's not about being completely debt-free overnight, it's about having a responsible, strategic approach to your financial obligations. Responsible debt management means making consistent, on-time payments. It means understanding the difference between good debt, like education or strategic investments, and bad debt, high-interest credit card spending. If you're systematically reducing what you owe, creating payment plans, and not letting debt control your life, you're winning. The 7th sign is all about psychological perspective, and it's a game changer. Stop comparing yourself to others. Psychologists call this social comparison theory, and it's a mental trap that can destroy your financial confidence. I once had lunch with someone worth over $100 million who casually mentioned being the poorest among his friends. It perfectly illustrates how comparison is a losing game at every financial level. Your financial journey is uniquely yours. What looks like success for your friend might be a financial disaster behind the scenes. That Instagram perfect life might be built on a mountain of credit card debt. Focus on your own growth, your own metrics, your own progress. Sign number 8 is about consistently growing your net worth. And I want to be crystal clear, this doesn't mean doubling your money every year. Consistent, steady growth is the real victory. Think of it like a long-term investment or a YouTube channel. Some months might be slower, but if you're trending in the right direction over time, you're absolutely winning. Now, let's talk about some warning signs, because recognizing what's wrong is just as important as recognizing what's right. If talking about money feels boring, if you're constantly borrowing money to make ends meet, or if your bills and statements constantly surprise you, those are red flags. Financial health requires active engagement and consistent awareness. The 9th sign is having genuine options and flexibility. When you're financially stable, you have choices that others don't. Maybe that means taking a lower-paying job you're passionate about, having the courage to start a side hustle, or taking a mental health break when you need it. Financial freedom isn't about being a millionaire, it's about having the flexibility to design a life that authentically represents you. Finally, and perhaps most importantly, the 10th sign is peace of mind. If you can sleep at night knowing you're making smart financial decisions, tracking your expenses, and moving forward, even if it's slowly, you're winning. Financial success isn't a destination, it's a journey. It's about progress, not perfection. Remember, Rome wasn't built in a day, and neither is financial success. It's about consistent, small steps. Celebrate your progress, learn from your mistakes, and keep moving forward. Now hit that subscribe button, and let's keep learning together. Until next time, stay smart, stay focused, and keep building your financial future.